That's pretty crazy though, right, fam? This old DrDisrespect thing. What's up, Amanda? We just chilling. You know what movie I saw today, Amanda? Hold on. Oh, tengo comida. Just got back from the movies. I saw Beetlejuice today. Came out today. I only went to go see it because it was a new movie to go see, and I have Regal Unlimited, so I'm already paying for it. Might as well watch whatever I want. Ordinarily not the kind of movie I would go pay to see, but actually, I would say it's fairly enjoyable. It's not really my kind of movie, but I would say it's definitely an enjoyable movie. It's a lot of goofiness. There's definitely a lot of that old like late 80s, early 90s aesthetic and like goofiness and stuff like that. So that was actually kind of appreciated. Kind of a throwback. Kind of a throwback to all those kind of old movies. I feel bad because today I didn't do any writing. You know what I paid the most attention to all day was was literally this. DrDisrespect's return. Are you guys interested in the DrDisrespect situation? I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's kind of a big streamer.
Yeah, just keep ignoring the issue and putting up this act. God, I'm so concerned and worried about everyone else's problems except mine because I'm dealing with a deeper depression and I like to project.
Fucking guy, dude.
Oh, champs. A lot of people donating. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
How loud is it? Is it too loud? Dude, DrDisrespect, he's funny. I don't...
Are you nervous to be back?
Ah, man. People like to hate, but...
After what's transpired over the last couple months...
Oh, I should do...
Am I excited to be back to this type of world?
Yep, there you go. There's definitely that obstacle, that hump that he has to get over, if yeah, to return after being gone the way he was gone for 2 months or whatever it was. So even though you enjoy something, like it's still hard to do it when there's this huge burden to unload. But he's prepared.
So glad you're back. Hey, I appreciate it, Shane.
He's prepared.
It's good to be back to a certain degree. For almost 4 years. Champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story.
Oh, did we miss the point?
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to...
Don't get fooled by his name, DrDisrespect.
Obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020.
You fucking rat.
I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors?
Repercussions?
You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any first-hand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited,
That was wild, dude.
just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well.
Of course, dude.
I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack.
Definitely.
These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now. Don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They report on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees,
Facts.
one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are,
Ooh.
actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting.
That's a big deal.
And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Can it get
Cody Connors
clearer
and
than
these
that?
other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate, purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh?
Bait?
Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words?
And they still didn't.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here.
This part's crazy too.
We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal! You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers.
Just think that he has many people he's
I
always
communicate with Twitch users.
communicating with.
Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally, the face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got 0 front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the 2-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it?
This guy sounds like a
zero support
douche.
from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the 2-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence?
Yo. Okay.
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report.
And what was their
They
the review?
find no issues
The conclusion?
and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. Yeah, he had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, big-time arbitration. Okay. And, you discover a lot of stuff.
That's how he knows these details.
Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement.
I guess they never
Mind you, the same people
followed
that
up
made this
either.
decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable! I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case. But these former Twitch employees that claim to have first-hand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from
a little bit of
their
conspiracy here?
I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me. Unfiltered.
Guy.
The realest motherfucker in this industry. 6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person, a husband, and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Yeah, sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big and accurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit,
Bro, they went over the line with that.
you all got what you wanted at the expense of the two-time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple.
Why? I wonder why.
Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here.
This part's wild, but...
Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his contact was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting?
Doc, where's Doc's
Wasn't
meeting?
my intent taken into consideration, champs? It's so obvious that certain
Has to be
Twitch
somebody
executives
famous.
and employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this, too. The doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing, these other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the due time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020, and now in 2024. And Cody Connors, I just have to say it again.
Getting called out.
Why would you do this?
Why would you do that?
Like I said, this was handled professionally years ago. No fucking wrongdoing. But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man.
A lot of money. His game studio broke apart.
Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
That's his game studio. Midnight Society.
Because of you, Cody.
They were making a first-person shooter, like a battle royale kind of game.
You know, through all this, we are where we are. And like a fucking man, I'll accept it. What I don't accept is sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No. For all these doc haters out there, too, oh man. The ones that project and worry about everyone else's problems.
Doc haters.
I can't understand that mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane. But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane.
I've been thinking about the kind of person
For all
that
you
is.
doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team. Today, my community, my friends, la familia, that have supported me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did. That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this, right? Unless I need to, because trust me, I have more I haven't disclosed.
And then a lot of people are saying, are the messages really that sketch? People want to see the messages, stuff like that. And he'll address it right now. Do you have the messages? But really, like, I don't think he can release the messages, even if he wanted to. Really, I know. You're exactly right, Tofu, because already so many people, well, all the people that needed to see it have already seen it.
People want, show the message, release the messages, show the messages.
What are we in 2nd grade?
Yeah. Yeah. But people, I'm gonna just kind of stop it right there. But people are still not satisfied with that, and of course that's because that kind of person will never be satisfied. So I guess I could just talk about, like, what do I think happened. So I do think the person was under the age of 18, but I do think they were above the age of consent, which is usually 16 in like most of this country and pretty much most around the world. Like most states in the United States, the consent is 16. But I think that's only being brought up because there were, if they weren't sexual in nature, but they were still inappropriate, what kind of jokes was he exchanging with this particular person? Most likely it was like locker room banter type stuff, you know, like, and he was probably messaging so many different people, you know what I mean, that it's all the same to him, you know what I mean? And so, but if there was anything of a, you know, it sounds like there was nothing that was direct, like he was trying to solicit something sexual from this person, you know? So yeah, I honestly don't think, as far as that goes, like there's anything, you know. But then there's the crazy stuff about him calling out Cody Connor, like most likely gonna sue that dude for defamation, because he straight up said that they were sexual in nature, and that he was trying to meet up with them at TwitchCon, and those things are not true. And the fact that even Twitch internal team said no, it wasn't, and that this dude, this former whatever partner manager of Doc's, that still went and tried to go around it and did it in an unofficial, escalate the concerns in an unofficial way. The fact that he's pressuring this person who was messaging Doc, like, he has to manufacture all of this, you know what I mean? He is pushing hard to make it happen. And he got it all the way out to, you know, to where, you know, he got reported to legal authorities, right? And then separate from that, well, so they never heard back from whatever, CSAM or whatever. They never heard back, so that means it's been how many years? 4 years, right? And they've never heard back from that agency, right? Because I guess all you do is you just submit the complaint. Whether you get a response or not, who knows? But in 4 years, they haven't. Well, Doc sued Twitch, right? And so Doc basically found out, or that's how Doc knew all the details about what was going on inside Twitch, because it all came out. And he got a settlement from Twitch, right? He got like a multi-million, who knows how much money, but it was to, they arbitrarily, you know, canceled his contract, because the reason why he was bringing up Mixer, and it was Shroud and Ninja that got signed to Mixer, but then when Mixer failed, this is what I think is, from Twitch's perspective, I don't think Twitch was like, oh, we need to get rid of Doc's contract and then go get Ninja and Shroud again. I don't think they were thinking like that. I think what they were thinking was, there's no need for us to have entered into a contract with Doc, this multi-million-dollar contract, because our main competition for doing that is gone now. Mixer is gone now. So we need to find a way to offload this dude. And plus, so that's one big reason. But the main reason is that it must have already been a part of, I don't know, the Twitch administration culture, but they just wanted Doc out because they weren't putting his stream on the front of the page, you know, and stuff like that. They weren't really promoting him. They weren't, his partner manager or whatever wasn't helping him build his brand on Twitch and things like that. So obviously there's a lot of politics, and we already know how, well, I don't know if you know, Doc doesn't really do politics, right? But you can imagine kind of people at Twitch that, you know, it is very political and they lean left. So to have a figurehead like Doc, you know, for everything that he stands for, all the, you know, straight white male masculinity and stuff like that, you can see how, like, they don't want to promote that, you know, and just, you know, with all the complaints that, how do you put it, like, you know, the video game developers have been getting to have more inclusivity in their video games, and they have all these consulting firms out there and stuff like that. You can imagine they were doing the same thing, trying to manage some DEI stuff, you know what I mean? Trying to manage Twitch partners and stuff like that through these liaisons or whatever. But anyway, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Let's see, I'm gonna read a couple chats. Man, this sucks. This kind of shit is so reputation damage. It's hard to move yourself. Hope we pass with time. Well, hopefully there's a retribution, because you shouldn't be allowed to get away with something like that. If you accuse somebody, you know, just like you're saying, of doing something crazy like what they accuse him of, he needs to sue Cody and needs to sue all the people that are involved with it and that kind of spread that lie, you know? So Cody's kind of like the one who started it, but you know, all, like, Rolling Stone got involved. They printed Rod Breslau's article. Rod Breslau's you know, reputation is probably gonna be damaged after bringing awareness to something that's a complete lie. Because the thing is they talked about all of this and didn't have the receipts to back it up. This is all hearsay, you know, and they were doing anything they can to bring Doc down. Now, why I think they would try to do this is I do think it was political, and I mean, I could talk about that in a little bit, but it's kind of like a larger perspective I have on the difference between the mindset of people who are on the left and the mindset of people who are on the right, in a general kind of speaking. Like, what kind of mindset attracts you to one side or the other? I've been thinking about that a lot lately. But anyway, I swear people just say things and it gets people thinking. It doesn't even have to be true. Yeah, I know. Like, a lawyer will bring up something irrelevant just to kind of taint the jury, and you're actually, that's illegal to do that. You're not like, or it's against the rules, I guess. A lawyer's not supposed to do that. But if you can get something to stick in the minds, you can use it to shade all the other facts that come out, and it helps. You know, they call it tainting the jury for a reason. You know, I'm not an expert in legal stuff, so I probably shouldn't say too much. But someone said it, so everyone is thinking it. Yep. Things don't need to be corroborated now. Cancel, yeah. But overall, I do think it'll be. I think it will pass, but I think Doc will definitely miss an opportunity if he doesn't sue them. But it sounds like he's going to sue them. He's got to get all the paperwork ready and stuff like that. But yeah, kind of wild. And I was watching XQC's reaction to that to this today. I'm just like, bro was like literally like pausing it and judging it and just did not want to accept it. I'm just like, what is wrong with this dude? At least Asmongold's response was the most like even-headed. You know, I'm slightly biased towards the doc, so but, and I've already talked about it with a couple of you guys that are in chat already, or at least Tofu. I've talked about it before. We already knew this is how it was going to turn out. We already knew. You know, we had our own discussions when this first was popping up a couple months ago, and we could always see it for what it was. But you see, like, in order to see something for what it is, like, you have to have a different kind of moral framework, I think. And this is what I was talking about earlier about my overall perspective on this. The people who all, you know, kind of fell for this, I guess you could say, like, the kind of people that want, you know, the Doc haters and stuff like that. The kind of people that want to hate Doc that bad are groupthink people. You know, they don't have any moral standard outside of the group or the niche that they are that they identify with, and so all their standards are related to the group. So if the group thinks a certain way, they're gonna think that way too. Because if they don't think that way, the group will ostracize them. That's how. In a nutshell, that's how the left works. Now, there's actually a deeper reason why I think it works like that, but it gets complex. So, well, not too complex. I could say it straight out, but it's just out of the context of right now. But yeah, but on the right, people, and so maybe I should bring it up because like why would kind of like people attack Doc so hard, you know? And the reason why is because he does represent kind of a masculine kind of patriarchy kind of you know, societal model, right? And if he's successful, then all the things that they stand for are being called into question. So they have to attack people like this. They can't help it. They have to attack people who contradict, you know, their worldview because they live in a fantasy world, pretty much. They're trying to create, and the fantasy world is their groupthink. They're trying to make everybody come into that. And if you don't go into that, then you got to get ostracized. You got to get cut down. Reality, you know, is a challenge for these groupthink people. We'll just put it that way. They think reality is just their group, and they think their opposition, the right, thinks the same way. But what unifies the right is not groupthink. Even though it seems like, oh, you could easily say, oh, all these male, Doc's fans and stuff like that defending him, they'll let anything slide. That's actually not the case, because you can sense if you aren't wedded to groupthink, but you actually think about morals as something that transcends the group, then that's actually where your mind is, and you can look down and see what's really happening. And so most people could tell something was really fishy, you know, and having that distance allows you to make better assessments of the world. If you're all stuck in groupthink, that's all you got is what the group thinks. So anyway, so the reason why they're going to attack somebody like this is because he represents transcendent moral standards. And the left, when you get stuck into groupthink, your moral standards are the group's moral standards. So you have to, like I was saying earlier, you have to push back against it. And so it's easy to attack this guy, because think about if he was on the left and he was trans. He wouldn't be getting this kind of pushback. He would not be getting this kind of pushback. There would be no reason to. and there's more that I could say about it, but I feel like I'm already kind of going off. But he's not in the group, so he can't be defended. But if he was in the group, then he would be defended, because people in that group, they don't call each other out. In fact, that's the whole function of their group. Their whole group is based upon defending each other's opposition to the moral standard. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's why deviancy always goes left. It always goes left. And then fragments, because it can't hold itself together, because it's just based on a group. When things go right, it usually becomes a unified thing. And that's why, you know, it's easy to criticize the right for being fascist, or it's easy to criticize the right for having an emperor or like a dictator kind of mind. But if you go left, everything just fizzles out. Like the group, there's no cohesion really. It ends up slipping into degeneracy, and then a dictator always shows up at the opposite end and then brings it full back around. So it's like a spiral, right? Or a circle. But yeah. So they give, on the left, everybody gives each other a pass. I'm saying like, maybe I'll just say like 85%. Those are the kind of people that get attracted over there. People who give each other a pass. You know, the only people that get brought down are people who are critical. You know, who hurt each other's feelings and stuff like that. But the people on the right, how do you bring them down? You just hold them to their moral standard, because the moral standards are hard to uphold. You know, they're hard to live up to. But just because they're hard to uphold, do we fucking get rid of them? You know, if you think so, then we go left. Or I don't know what, I don't even know what the screen is. But yeah. Anyway, I kind of went off there, but that's just kind of my opinion. I don't even know if that makes any sense. I hope I articulate that. What y'all think? Yeah, Tofu. They didn't watch him, but their group started dogging on him, so they're like, "Oh, we gotta go join in. We gotta go join in. This guy is threatening our groupthink." But it's mob, that like it's mob rule over there, you know. And even my book I'm reading, Demons by Dostoevsky, is talking about how communism first came into Russia and stuff like that. And dude, there's literally in the beginning where he's talking about how these communistic, socialistic ideals come into a country and infiltrate and stuff like that. It's literally through groupthink and through policing everybody, and taking control of the organs of public discourse, for instance, newspapers and media, and social media is the modern day of that version of that. But they were even doing it back then, where there was it's described that there's a scandal that happens at this kind of like literary group meeting, which is amongst private people in this story, and then one person causes a scandal to another person, but and it somehow leaves there. It somehow gets passed on to the newspapers. Everybody starts talking about it. It gets spread around as like gossip, just like he was saying, you know, gossip. And then they use that to try to cancel someone or to discredit someone. But how can you be like that? Is not about attaining the truth at all. Like how? Like what? Why would you want to be a part of that? The only reason why you want to be a part of that is because you're looking for group affirmation or something, I guess. I don't know. But people who usually gravitate towards the right, they usually like they're attracted to truth, and they're attracted to maybe it sounds kind of bold-faced to say, oh, they're attracted to truth, but really they're attracted to the idea of a transcendent moral standard. That's what really attracts them. Whether that moral standard is true or not, who knows? But people that are more conservative, people that are more on the right, are attracted to the idea that there's a moral standard that transcends reality, or that transcends the group. Really, not reality, but you know, a metaphysical standard. But people who are attracted to the left are not attracted to metaphysical standards. They're attracted to group standards, and that's the nature. But everybody has a balance of both of those. So I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, because just as much evil is committed by a false transcendent morality as there is by having, you know, a totally degenerate moral standard, you know. So there's a balance. So I'm not saying one is, you know, but if you want to know why there's a two-party system in the United States, that's why, because they just reflect the two tendencies apparent in man. towards a temporal order and towards an ascendant, you know, metaphysical order, you know? And that's what we are. We're both of those things. So we're in the balance of those two. And so you have to pick and choose with how you're gonna navigate that, you know? Anyway. What y'all think about that? Should we watch something else?